hope you all are well. I'm starting off today by priming the eye area with my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm adding a few swipes of this now to the eye area with the applicator, and then I'm going in with the fluffy end of my double-ended brush that came with the Urban Decay Naked Honey eyeshadow palette, and I'm just buffing this all over the eye area, anywhere that I'll be adding shadow, just to ensure that the eyeshadows go on nice and smoothly, that they blend nice and easily, and that they last all day long too. So today I'm reaching for my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It's just a cult classic really, isn't it? And the first shade I'm taking is called Salted Caramel. This is a lovely warm, quite light brown, like terracotta brown with a matte finish to it. I'm picking this up on the fluffy end of my double-ended brush that came with the Naked Cherry palette, and I'm blending this out into the crease first. So what I like about this brush is that it's long and tapered to a point, so I can be quite precise with my eyeshadow application. A fluffy brush is just going to coat a larger area with shadow straight off the bat, but at least with this one I've more control, so I can start nice and deep in the crease. I can buff out my shadow as little or as much as I'd like. And of course, I like a nice blown out smoky eye, so I'm just using large sweeping motions and circular motions to pull that shadow upwards and outwards, and naturally I want it to fade out to nothing the closer to the brow bone that I get. So I'm fluffing that brush around now, or flipping it even, and using the small bullet shaped end just to pick up some more of that Salted Caramel shade. I'm swinging this down along the lower lash line from outer to inner corner, making sure that it connects up on that outer edge. So the next shade I'm taking then is called Milk Chocolate. This is a deeper brown and it's got a matte finish to it as well. I'm picking this up on the Sedona Lace EB09 Universal Blending Brush, and I'm starting by tapping this down on the outer third of the eyelid. I'm working it up into the crease. So I'm using this shade to add some depth, and for this reason then I'm keeping it to the outer portion of the eye area. I'm just swirling my brush in the crease, fading that shadow outwards at an angle, and then I'll take what's left of my brush slightly across the crease, just so I don't have a big blob of colour sitting on that outer portion of the eye. What I do to the top, I do to the bottom, so I'm taking the smaller end of that brush once again with a little of milk chocolate on it, and I'm running this down along the lower lash line, just repeating the same step as before and making sure to connect it up on that outer edge. So next then I'm taking my favourite shade in the palette, which is Cherry Cordial. This is a beautiful, warm, dark burgundy shade, and I've picked up some of this on my Sigma E25 blending brush. Now, with where I'm placing this shadow, I could have gone about applying it in a couple of different ways. I could have, let's say, started packing this onto the eyelid with a flat C-shaped brush. It would have given me instant pigmentation, lots of colour, because a flat C-shaped brush is more dense than a fluffy one, so it would just pack on more colour. Then I could have started working the burgundy in the crease from there. But what I've chosen to do, the way I've gone about it, is applying the shadow with a fluffy blending brush, because I can gradually build up the shadow. I've more control this way, and I can add a little and just blend and get a nice smoky effect, add some more, build up the colour and blend, and it just stops me from making mistakes or going overboard with it. It stops me from potentially covering up the work that I've done up until this point with the other two shades. It's just a lot harder, I find, to blend out a shade when you've a lot of colour on the eye. It's easier just to add a little at a time, build up gradually, and that's what I've been doing here. So I'm gradually sweeping this colour now across the lid and into the crease, leaving a small part of the eyelid bare. Now I'm taking that small bullet shaped brush once again, and I'm sweeping this down along the lower lash line too. So the next shade I'm taking is called Amaretto, and this is a nice metallic warm, I'm going to say kind of like a burgundy brown. I just think it complements that cherry shade really well. I'm patting this down on the inner portion of the eyelid to add a subtle sparkle to the makeup look, and I've used the Blank Canvas Cosmetics E24 shader brush to apply it. To add some final depth, I'm reaching for my Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. This one has a matte black in it, and it's fantastic. It's jet black and really easy to work with. So I'm adding this down on the outer part of the eye, starting at the lash line and sweeping my way up to the crease area. And this is just a smaller C-shaped brush than one that I'd use to coat the eyelid. It's from Sedona Lace. But when working with black or any darker shade, I'd always lean with the rule of the darker the colour, the smaller the brush, just because usually when you're adding a darker shade to a specific area, let's say in this case, to add depth, it's just easier to be precise with a smaller brush as opposed to a larger one. So with this brush too, I actually like to blend a little with it. So as I'm applying, I'm blending as I go, and I just like to build up the black in a couple of layers. I'm moving to an angled brush now, and I'm just lining along that upper lash line just to continue that darkness across the lash line. If you choose not to wear lashes, this just helps to add a bit of dimension, a bit of definition to your own lashes, making them appear more full. And if you are wearing lashes, it just helps to hide the lash band, which is great. So to line my waterline then, I'm taking this cold pencil from number 7. It's just a regular black liner. I'm placing this on the waterline, closing my eye around the pencil, and I'm running it back and forward to coat both the top and bottom waterline at the same time. Now I've also taken this slightly into the lash bed and slightly below the lash line, and what I'm doing now is going to go in with an angled brush, just a different one, and while the pencil is still wet and creamy, I'm smudging it out. So to help fade that black some more and help it merge better with that cherry shade, I'm reapplying and smoking more of this down along the lower lash line, right underneath the black, just overlapping it slightly. My lashes then are the Sosu 7 Deadly Sins lashes in the style Desire. I've popped them on, and now I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara just to coat my bottom lashes and to also blend my own lashes in with the false ones. But then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you did, please do let me know, and I'll catch you all really soon.